Hi, my name is Sarah Ivanowski. I'm here today to share a podcast episode called The Power of Story. This podcast was inspired after reading this week's articles and novels for a graduate class on culture and literacy. After reflecting on the readings, I'm left thinking about the power a story can have for both a reader and a writer. My hope is by the end of today's episode, you can understand how incorporating ethnic autobiographical writing into your classroom can be a powerful tool for students of all ages. First, we'll go over what ethnic autobiographical writing is. Author Davis defines this term as narratives that highlight the intersection of consciousness of cultural difference from the mainstream and personal development. Ethnic autobiographies often explore a person's experience with different cultural influences. We'll start by talking about what ethnic autobiographies look like in writing. In the article Ethnic Autobiography by Children's Literature, we learn about how two ethnic autobiographical writers, Yep and Yukaida, have found healing and self awareness through their work. Both writers write about their childhood experiences as Asian Americans. Yep goes on to explain that much of his work is fiction, but it can still be considered autobiographical as much inspiration for characters and events comes from his own life. In the article Autobiographical Writing in a Fourth Grade Bilingual Classroom, the author describes a class's transformative experience with this genre of writing. Bilingual Hispanic students are challenged with the task of writing about a moment in their life that was a moment of change. Students wrote about their experiences in Spanish before writing a summary of their work in English. They then shared their work with a group of teachers, pre-service teachers, and college professors. This experience, along with many others this class had, empowered these students to use their voice to advocate for change, share honest documentation of their lives that reflects their cultural identities, and engage in authentic and purposeful writing. Writing activities like this can be incorporated into any classroom of any age, and they are a powerful tool to promote culturally responsive teaching in the classroom. The second point I want to focus on today is multiculturalism in reading. The two novels I read this week, The Epic Fail of Arturo Zamora and Dreams, were novels that showed characters wrestling with various ethnicities. In The Epic Fail of Arturo Zamora, readers can learn about the experiences of Arturo, a young boy from Miami with Cuban roots. Throughout the story, Arturo explores his cultural history, learning about his grandparents' immigration story, noticing how his family uses both English and Spanish, and more. Arturo is made of a beautiful mix of culture that he uncovers and embraces throughout the novel. In Dreams, the main character Kat and her family move from Southern to Northern California. Kat is multi-ethnic, her father is white and her mom is Mexican. While her family does not celebrate traditional Hispanic holidays or speak Spanish, they find that the community they move to has a strong Hispanic influence. Throughout the story, Kat and her family learn about their ethnicity, celebrating the Day of the Dead, and much more. Incorporating stories like these into with multi-ethnic characters into your reading classroom can help students develop empathy, connect to characters, and develop their own self-awareness. These texts can also serve as inspiration when students are working on their own autobiographical writing. Overall, I think writing ethnic autobiographies and reading about multicultural characters can be very meaningful in all literacy classrooms. I'll leave you with a quote that stood out to me from the article by Davis. These ethnic autobiographies thus perform a necessary task. By recontextualizing the forms and themes of traditional American autobiography, they enact alternative modes of being and identifying as American through itineraries marked by separation and difference rather than by integration. Thank you for listening to my episode today. I hope you feel inspired to include some of the content we covered today in your own classroom.